cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in the grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in the grave. Hey, legends don't die anyway. I was working on a play today. Body bags covered away. I paved, zipped up like a bathing ape. How many of us then came and stayed? Not too many. I've been staying awake to get it and get right on every mistake. I give them a bite, they taking a plate. It's all been a feeling that I couldn't shake. So I just keep killing till I'm at the gates. We straight, we treat them like worms in a lake. They bake, just give me a drum and a bass. I skate and grind till I'm numb in the face, okay? Don't fuck up my day. Don't talk about clutch, I got ice in my veins. I'm coated in tray, I stick to the code. I'm glitching the game. I do anything for the win at the end of the day. I gotta cut to the chase. Everyone give me some space. Don't fall out, we fall into place. Every step walking with grace, amen. Keeping my foot off the brakes. Impact, I'm ready to brace. We fall down and land on our face, just to get up and finally escape. Wait, boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in the grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in the grave. Legends don't die anyways. Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in the grave. They live through the story they made, okay? Boom, boom. Baby, I'm trying to get paid. Legends don't die in the grave. Legends don't die anywhere.
Just lose control and chase the house. Leave all your tears. We're on cloud nine. We live and die. The rain is light. Let's pray the night's gonna be alright. Just lose control and chase the highs. Leave all your tears. We're on cloud nine. We live and die.
A race is life.
Immensely feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock. You physically couldn't hold me, I don't care if you push it 40. You could never little bro me. Euro step like Ginobili, from young OG to the OG. From nosebleeds to floor seats. Circle stronger than Cuban links. My gold dance, your gold plated. You verse me, now that's a reach. We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? We ready, been ready. I waited, my turn, on God, held steady. I keep dropping back to back. I keep going if you let me. I've been sitting at the top, looking down at those who left me. Promise I'm not being petty. I'm the one they envy. Brody moving state to state, make $1 million out to send me. Plus I grinded from the start. I was stacking pennies. I might dip like Machiavelli. After the confetti, who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? We ready? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who? Who ready? Who? We ready? Who?
Hello and welcome. How we all doing, people? It is Wednesday night, and as always, that only means one thing. It's AERS here on the commentator channel, and welcome into round 13, and it will be the Temple of Speed, one of the greatest track. It is Monza here this evening, and it can all be sealed here tonight. And the team that has been doing absolutely amazing. We haven't seen the greatness from them that we've seen from the beginning of the season, but they have been plodding on, picking up points, and they sit at the top. It is SCI, but AMR are trying to close that gap. If SCI outscore AMR by just 5 points here this evening, that is it. SCI will be crowned the champions, and what an amazing season it has been for them. I mean, AMR have been on the comeback. I think if we look back throughout the season with AMR's results, I think and I'm only going back to him because he's actually in my last week's thing. Is Tico. Like Tico, I mean, he's a good driver. Quality is kind of his place, but the race has really let him down. Oh, SCI, right? So AMR needs to outscore SCI by 5 points. Thank you very much, Grumpy. Thank you very, very much. I did read it wrong when I read it. But yeah, I think if Tico maybe hadn't have had the coming together. I mean, last week it was first of all adjudicated that his and Justin's coming together. I think it was at turn 7 or 8. Was firstly initially given as a 3-second time penalty to Justin, which was then overturned, and Justin did get the race win after such a great race at Belgium. We did see a lot. We'll get into that very, very shortly. But I just want to say one big, massive thing before we do get started. I want to thank each and every person that has been coming along to these streams, pressing that follow button to make me reach that magical number of 550 followers. It absolutely means a lot. Very humbling. And yeah, thank you so much to each and every one of you that have smashed that follow button while you've been watching the racing here on the commentator channel with AERS. So let's have a look at last week. Let's have a little bit of a recap of round 12. So in qualifying, we've seen Otso take pole position with a 140.055. Tico as well for AMR. AMR having a great qualifying. P1 and 2, Tico picking up a 1 minute 40.192. Justin for FRT started in P3 and was on a 140.287. Your fastest lap of the race also went to Otso. Had a really good race, did Otso, but unfortunately just couldn't really get up there. Yes, Crew, how's it going, sir? How are we doing? Here's to you, Mr. Crew. But yeah, lap 1, seeing AMR secure the P1 and 2. But then lap 2 came along and turn 7. Justin and Tico making slight contact, which inevitably saw Tico dropping positions like we've seen from him Here comes the Voller chance. Yeah, I know Voller's here this evening as well. In for the final race. Why? I mean, not final race, but why wouldn't he be here? The Voller chance will be in, and no doubt will be on a lap with him during qualifying. So make sure you stay tuned for that, all you Voller Knights, we'll call yous. But yeah, then it was, you know, Tico did fall quite a few positions, dropped to P8 after the contact. Just the car wasn't steady, had minor damage. And it really did show with him dropping them positions. Then we went into wet weather racing, and that's where Justin shone. He really did break away. Voller didn't have quite the pace in the wet. Did take away P3. SCI had a really good result. Venom really did bring it back, picking up SCI really good points in that race, as well as FRT. FRT having another great result. Best views. Yeah, get lost. I don't need them. I've got the best viewers, and it's used lot right here with us. But yeah, as I said, it was a really, really good race after all. After the race, obviously there were stewards, and BRC picked up a double quali ban, as well as RSC picking up one quali ban. So BRC will start from the back inevitably with that quali ban, as we've got Mr. Smith in the chat. Good evening, sir. How are we doing? Welcome in. Been a long time since we've seen you here in the channel. But yeah, really, really good race. Overall, like I said, FRT picked up solid points. SCI as well really did pick up a good amount of points to really take the championship to the good bit. Yeah, very well, thank you. It's AMR and SCI and versus, yeah, definitely with FRT with that result last week, jumping in the championship, AERT to third position. So it's going to be a very tough battle between AERT. AERT didn't have a great result last week. Sammy was really going for it in qualifying. Looked like he was going to put in maybe a top position. Get me on that plane, mate. Why are you off away, lad? Hopefully you are. But yeah, they really didn't have a good result, but managed to pick it back up and get to P11 and I think P12 at the end of it. So yeah, not the best race. Hopefully they can bring it back this week. 2 new drivers. Well, I'm off to Turkey, mate. Nice. Yeah, hopefully they can bring it back. But let's move into this week. Let's have a look at the championship as it stands. Show you how close it is. Caden's on wheels, so he's not. Oh yeah, Caden's moved over to wheel, anyway. Well, let's see how he performs. You never know, he might have took to it like a duck to water. But there you have it. SCI with a 60-point lead to AMR. AMR really do have to get a result here this evening. They need a P1 and 2 in qualifying and try and hold on to it again. You've got FRT and AERT in at P3 and 4. Good battle going on there. And the positions are quite open, obviously, to move around in these final 2 races of the season. Yep, definitely they need the full points here this evening, do AMR. But the championship is getting close. The battles are going to be getting closer as these final 2 rounds unfold. Like I said, here this evening, it is Monza. And let's move over to the track information here this evening for Monza. So the first Grand Prix was held back in 1950 with the track length being 5.793. I'm sorry that's so bright. Lap record is held by Rubens Barrichello, which he set back in 2004, which is a 1 minute 21.046. Your most pole positions goes to the one and only Sir Lewis Hamilton, with most wins and being a shared one by Michael Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton. Full run to turn 1, breaking point 472 meters. Now the run down to turn 1, we know how treacherous that can be in league racing, and hopefully we don't see drivers tripping over one another. But if we're going to see any comings together, it's definitely going to be into that first chicane on lap 1. Your safety car probability is 50%, with virtual safety car probability being 38. The pit stop time loss here at Monza is 24.3 seconds. There are just 11 corners with just 2 DRS zones on the lap. The first DRS zone is on the run down to Ascari, which is from turn 7 on the run down to turn 8. And then your final chicane is, the final DRS zone, is just after the start finishing line and runs down to turn 1. So should be a very, very interesting race here this evening at Monza, with this the season that we've had. It's been so close in qualifying. The racing has been close. It has broke up after a couple of laps. We've seen different fights as we get Kai in the chat. Hiya! Yes, Kai, how we doing, brother? Your team could really seal it this evening. Kai, how are you feeling? Do you feel confident that the SCI boys can take the trophy here this evening and become #1? Let's see what Kai says in the chat. But yeah, Monza, absolutely brilliant circuit. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm just going to sort a few things out. And as always, as we knew from last time out, I am sponsored by Apex Apparel now. So make sure you jump over to the website. I will get a link in the chat very shortly to check out all the racing apparel over there. Yeah, very, very blessed to have that. We was going to start the Saturday Night Fives this weekend, but last weekend, sorry, but we had a few things pop up over my end, so it just wasn't. I wasn't able to kick it off, but I am trying to get things moving for this weekend. So Saturday night should be the first, let's say, installment of the Saturday Night Fives with the commentator. So stay tuned and let's hopefully we can see you in the lobby and do some commentating on you. If you're a first timer here or you just following the channel on behalf of the other teams, let's see your pace. So yeah, definitely make sure you head down to the channel on Saturday night. I might even make a Discord for it. I'm possibly going to do something to cover AERS till next game's out since we haven't heard anything still. Hey, Grumpy, let's do it, bro. Let's do it. We'll do anything. Let's get it going. Let's get something in the works, mate. Can't keep me on the sideline, Grumpy. I need the comms. It's like an addiction, bro. It's like an addiction. But yeah, I mean, the Parabolica here, turn 11, can be quite a difficult one on the exit. Scary. Very, very tricky couple of turns. Just 3 turns there, turns 8, 9, and 10. And we might see a couple of drivers get caught out there, especially on the exit of turn 10. As we all know, we've got the famous Lesmos at turns 6 and 7. And then you've got the second chicane. We've got the Curva Biasona. If I botched that, I do apologise. But yeah, that is turn 3. So yeah, a very, very good track. A lot of high speed. We're going to be seeing some very quick times here in qualifying this evening. So make sure you stay tuned and stay with us as we are on the countdown now to getting qualifying underway. I'm going to get onto the game and make sure I am in the lobby because we don't. I mean, I didn't see the driver list update, so there were a few teams that had people missing. Is MIP Racing? We will find out, Ollie. We will find out. Let me just have a quick look. I'll see which teams who's driving on who, as the teams maybe have been announced. So we've got the NA lineup. Yes, so we're all here. So driving on behalf of AERT in the Alpine, it's Caden and Cole. On behalf of SCI in the Mercedes, it's Voller and Snacks. Very, very good pair, strong pair in that for the final race. For RSC driving in the V-Cab, it's Sem and AGK Racing. In for AMR, as always, in the Ferrari, it's Otso and Tiago. In for FRT, it's Bella and Max Power. They drive in the Red Bull. BRC are in the McLaren. They've got Dawid and BB the Flash. In for VNT in the Williams, we've got Ward and Thomas. In for IRT in the Aston Martin, it's RM and Sasha. In for OMB, driving on behalf of Haas, it's Mercy and Nico Rasenberg. And then in for AMS, it's Weasel and Eric. So there is your driver lineup for this evening. And let's get on to the game. Let's get into the lobby. I'm sure I was past this bit earlier on. But how are we all doing, people? How are we all feeling on this Wednesday evening? Do we feel that SCI can seal the deal here this evening? Or are we going to see AMR put on a dominant performance and really take this championship into the final race of the season? I think it's definitely going to be possible. Put a bit of light on the situation. Boom. But yeah. Is MIP racing? No. So, obviously, we've just been through the lineup. MIP is not racing here this evening. But nice to see you, Ollie. Hope you're well. And I hope you're ready for round 13 here this evening. The Italian Grand Prix. It is Monza, people, the Temple of Speed. So, we haven't got an invite as of yet, so we'll wait for that. Can he find you? I've just got on Grumpy. I've just literally got on the game, so it might be there now, mate. It might be there now. And then we'll move into the lobby once we get the invite of Mr. Grumpy himself. There we go. Gotcha. So let's move into the lobby, people, and see how this race unfolds here this evening. There we go, there we go. So yeah, should be a very, very interesting race this. Obviously, AMR have got to put it all on the line here this evening to take this championship into the final race. But SCI have two drivers that have really put on great performances this evening when they've driven. It is Snacks and it is Voller. Has Voller got the pace here this evening at Monza in qualifying to really solidify a top spot? Spectator, as always. Thank you, Grumpy. And, you know, can the AMR team, can Tiago and Zito do the job and take this into the final race? It's going to be such a great showing, hopefully, between the teams. And like we said, we've got FRT and AERT really battling it out for P3. Very close between the pair. I mean, one of them's going to have a very dominant performance to really take it away from the other team here at Monza. But it's AERT that have the job. They have to close the points. They have to outscore FRT here this evening. And FRT have a strong team in as well to ensure that they take that battle to the final race. As we get Kai again. Hiya! In the chat. But yeah, it should be a full grid. Full 20 drivers out on circuit. I mean, each race we've had a bit of comings together and stuff like that. We've seen, you know, wheel locking side by side. It's been an absolute pleasure, you know, the racing to commentate on all season. The battles have been good. We've seen some fair fights. We've seen some questionable moments. I think Polymac was in one of them earlier on in the season. I mean, AMS had a really good start to the season. I remember back to, I think, race 2. After I don't think I did race 1. If I did, it'll be that. But AMS Knight with a great undercut, securing himself a podium position, and then it just hasn't really gone well for the AMS team. In all fairness, it's kind of been a downhill slope since then. So I think every single one of them are going to want to put on a result here this evening, especially moving into, you know, we're obviously into the final 2 races of the season, and it all comes down to this. You know, if you can really stretch the gap in front of, you know, the team that's chasing you, you've got an easy final race. But the way this championship is, you know, headed all season, it's been so close. SCI did have a commanding lead mid-season. But AMR really did pull the socks up and have closed that gap quite significantly to SCI, and the results haven't quite been there for the SCI team. They haven't had bad drives. I think the worst play we have seen them outside the top 10. I think it was about 3 races ago now. But yeah, apart from that, they've been picking up points everywhere. We've seen some great wins. We've seen Finley at Zandvoort with we had Track Racer and Silo coming together. Finley getting an easy win on that final. It was in the final chicane at Zandvoort. So yeah, Finley picked up a win there. I think we've also seen Silo on the top. We've seen Voller on the top step. We've seen Voller on the podium multiple times. So here we go, people. Qualifying is about to get underway. And who do we think is coming out on top here at Monza? What do we think the pole time will be? Get your predictions in the chat. As now we are here at the circuit. Looks like we don't have any rain coming in qualifying. Could we potentially be seeing it in the race? Who knows? But I'm sure we may find out off one of the lads. Hopefully. So, who's going to hit the circuit first? Who's going to be putting that lap time together? But like I was saying, SCI. I think SCI and AMR have gone for the best drivers here. Like Tiago, and also has been putting on great drives all season. Tiago, when he's been in the seat as well, has really put a solid result together. So both teams showing that they're playing the biggest cards here this evening, with SCI picking Voller and Snacks, as well as AMR picking Tiago and Otso. I mean, we've seen great races from Sem as well. I mean, let's not forget the other teams. OMB have had, you know, moments of greatness throughout the season. AMS, I mean, they all have. We've seen IRT have a great, I think, race. Was that at Zandvoort? I think that was at Zandvoort as well. A good drive from them, as we've got action in the pit lane, and it is Otso out on the circuit first. Took qualifying last week, maybe looking for a top spot here again. I mean, well, not maybe, they have to. They need to be in the mix. They need to pick up the biggest amount of points here as they can this evening. ART Caden, as has been stated in the chat, has moved to wheel recently, so may not be at his tip-top best. But you never know. Like I said, he could have took to it like a duck to water. And, I mean, watch him get pole. I mean, that'd be absolutely amazing. And especially moving to, like, a wheel with no assists whatsoever. And he's here racing, and I think he's only had, what, 2 races off, if I remember correctly. And he's here, and he's looking to see where he kind of feeds in pace-wise. I think it's a feeler race, this, for Caden. Where he kind of sizes up with his move to wheel, whether he's going to be better or is he. I mean, he may be a couple of attempts off his best, but we'll have to wait and see. So here we go with Otso. He is getting up to the Parabolica, and now will make his way down that very long straight to turn 1, the first chicane, where we will definitely see some action throughout the race. Definitely see some overtakes. Turn 1 could be very, very bad, but we'll have to wait and see as we see the drivers there serving the quali bands. BRC with the double, and the VCAB team of RSC. One of the drivers out as we get Natem in the chat. How are we doing, Nat? Hope you're well. So through sector 1 of 25.820. As he now makes his way down to the first of the Lesmos. Looking nicely through there. Second Lesmo. Then it's the run down to Ascari. The first DRS zone here on the circuit. How does he handle this? This is going to be a corner where we may see some drivers get caught out. But also looks like he's taking it nicely there. May have just gone a bit easier through there with it being his first lap. You just want to set a nice banker, something to aim at on your opening lap. And it looks like a very clean one here from Otso for AMR. And around the Parabolica comes the Ferrari of AMR. And up to the line, it's a 117.374 from Otso. As we go back to Mert Sim. As now he is on the run to the start finishing line. Crosses the line. It's a 118.110. Nearly, and there we go. Sem onto provisional pole, the 117.312. Times are coming in, and let's have a look at him. Let's see what Caden's doing. And I tell you what, Caden's put a handy Sector 1 in there, beating Otso's Sector 1. So Caden really has been putting the practice in, and he looks smooth through Ascari. Good exit. As we see, it's Snacks in behind, Voller's in at P3. Currently, Snacks will be the next across the line behind Caden. He's around the parabolica. He's power down to the start finishing line. Caden is a 117.630. He goes in at P4. And where does Snacks go? Snacks moves up to the top. It's provisional pole for Snacks with a 117.249. Let's have a look at somebody else. Let's have a look at Cole in the Alpine. It's AERT. It's a 117.502. P6 and 7 for AERT on these opening laps. We've got the OMB driver of Nico. He's backed out the lap. Let's have a look at Max Power. Max Power going through Ascari as we get SSR Halo in the chat. Yep, they are very quick. How are we doing, Halo? Great to see you in the chat. We've got Josh as well. How are we doing, Josh? Not a bad banker considering just changing from... yeah, exactly, Josh. That's a quality lap. I mean, it's 2 weeks. It's got to be like 2 weeks now from Josh. Let's not. You have a 6. But yeah, invalidated lap. Teammate comes across the line. Bella is a 118.315. P14. Everyone making the way back into the pit lanes. And on the opening laps, it's this man right here. Snacks, who holds provisional pole with a 117.249. Great lap there from him. Big up the best comms. Thank you very much, Halo. Thank you so much. Massively appreciated. And it's always great to see you in the chat and always appreciate the comments. So thank you very, very much. But yeah, this man, he's doing it for SCI. SCI in a very good position at this moment in time. P1 and P5. Voller may need to pick up the pace a little bit. It is so close in qualifying. So close. Here with these opening laps. Not much splitting them at all. All just over a second. Splitting the full 14 drivers here. As you can see, 3 people with quali bands. BRC taking it hard in the stewards with a double quali ban. FRT long day. I mean, FRT, you put in AERT in the driver's seat at the minute, they're going to be picking up some big points, P6 and 7, and they're looking good. And very close to the SCI boys. Caden may need to pick it up a little bit, but as we say, Caden is done a great job with these 2 weeks. I mean, I don't even think, did he even expect to be in at P7? Probably not, especially when you make the move and then it's only 2 weeks in and you're probably questioning, are you going to be in and around the pace? I do apologise. And he is right in there, so let's hope Caden can improve. As we are on board with the BRC driver of Mertzim. Can he improve? Needs big improvements on the lap. Currently P13. So we know that around a 25, I'd say 6, Sector 1 may be needed. Maybe a bit lower. Otzo did a 25.8, I think it was. And he's in at P4. So as long as you have a good... It's this Ascari that, can really panic drivers. The smallest mistake at turn 8 can be the biggest by the time you get to turn 10. With it being such a short distance as well, the corrections and trying to catch the car, it can really... you can make big mistakes. But here we go. It's Mert Sim in at P13 with a 118.110. Can he improve on this lap? OMB need the result here. So let's see what he can do. On the run down to turn 1. How does he take this? Ooh, bit too much on the curb there on turn 2. And I think that is the lap backed out of. Yeah, definitely is. Let's give... Well, he's in the pit lane, so we'll give it to his teammate once he does start the lap. Caden has actually started the lap, so let's have a jump on board with Caden. Let's see what Caden can do here. So, sector split coming up for Caden. He's got FRT on his left there. Ooh, moving over a bit there. Trying to... That almost looked like the FRT driver was trying to kind of spook Caden into that chicane. And it really can, especially when a driver's getting close to you. But I don't think it's unsettled him whatsoever. Looking clean here on the lap for Caden so far. Let's watch for the Sector 2 split, which is coming up now. Has he improved? He's up by 2.5 tenths here, is Caden. Great turn 8 there for him. Well caught. This is looking smooth. Oh, is it? Oh, he invalidated Caden there. I think it was on turn 8. Just a little too early on the turning on entry. But I think he's going to complete the lap regardless. Is he? Come on, Caden. Let's see what you can do. To the line. A 3/10 improvement. And that would have seen him in and around 7. He definitely would have been there. So Caden showing he's got the pace here to mix it. Voller is out on a lap. But let's have a look at Snacks. Snacks. Currently provisional pole for the SCI driver. Ooh, Voller. We're going to have to jump on board with Voller mid-lap. Let's have a look. Let's show him Snacks. Hopefully that craves everybody's itch. Nicely through the chicane there. On now to the first of the Lesmos. Throwing it in there. Here's Snacks. Looking nice and clean. Second Lesmo coming up. Well cut. Good exit. DRS zone now for Snacks. Let's see the improvement. Sector 2 split coming up. And it's a 10th improvement from Snacks. Nico for OMB has moved up into P2 with a 117.295 from Nico. So OMB showing up here on the second runs of qualifying. This is what we usually see from OMB. They really can put it together in qualifying. It's just a race that kind of falls away from them. But here we go with Snacks. He's through the Parabolica. Just to start finishing line to go. And he's to the top. Still provisional pole from Snacks with a 117.060. Let's have a jump back to Voller going through Ascari. Purple sector 2 there. For Voller. We didn't see the sector split. But just the Parabolica to go away for Voller. Looks nice and clean. Invalid. Ooh. And there goes Voller. Voller, not much of an improvement there. Just 5,000th improvement from him. As I think all these drivers may be making their way back into the pit lane now. But also invalidated a 117.079, which would have seen him in at P2. And this is going to be a legendary battle if we have SCI and AMR going into turn 1, P1 and 2. Imagine if it was 3 and 4 as well. But the AMR team currently sit P5 and 6. And they've got to put the laps together here. They have to make this final run of qualifying count. I mean, how much time have we got left? Still got a yellow flag in Sector 3, it's showing. So I don't quite know how much time we have. But everybody will be making the way into the pit lane now. Getting ready for that final run of the session. And who comes out on top? Can Snacks hold on to provisional pole? Or are we going to see a driver just smashing that lap and take it away? Are we going to see another team on the top spot? I mean, is it going to be SCI at the end? Let's see a 16. Yeah, let's see if one of the drivers has the capability, has the drive to put in a 116. We don't care if it's a 0.9 or a 0.999. Yep, BRC double quali ban. Wards is already out on an outlap with 4 minutes left in qualifying. Let's see what Wards can do for VNT. Yeah, Snacks is definitely locked in. I think he's definitely got the drive. He's probably, obviously, the driver that looks closest. Obviously, we've seen Otso invalidating a very decent time. Caden as well, which would have seen him around P3. I think he would have been P3. VNT. I tell you what, they're also another team that need a good result. Hope OMB have a really good race. I mean, Nico has put them in a good position. We just need Mertzim to ramp it up a bit. Currently sat in P14. I understand the hate. But here we go with Wards. This will probably be his final run of the session. So can he put VNT into a top 5 position for the race? Seen good performances from the VNT team throughout the season. And we've seen some terrible moments as well. I think we've seen good and bad through all the teams this season. I mean, I don't remember SCI being in that much, or AMR, to be fair. I think it's just for AMR, it's always been Tico's, like, race performances. And it sounds like I'm going in on him, but it's what you remember throughout the season. And there we go, Wards invalidating through Ascari. And that sees his lap abandoned. I don't think he's going to have enough. I mean, hopefully he's got enough ERS in hand here to go for another lap. But Wards could be sat at the back for this race. Yep, he's definitely not got enough time to get in and out. I highly doubt it. So that is Wards qualifying over. And we've got people out on the track. And here he is. Voller, P8, he needs a big improvement. He needs 4/10 improvement to get near his teammate. We've got Sem out on the lap as well. We've also got one of the AMI drivers a bit further down. We've got Tiago, who we've not had a look at this evening, so we'll stay on board with him. Nico still in the pit lane, yet to come out on track. As we see him trundling down the pit lane right now. So Nico will be the last one to put a lap together here this evening. I mean, has he come out with enough time? That's the question. But Tiago currently P6. AMR need a P1 and 2 here in qualifying. If they want to outscore the SCI boys, we know how good SCI are in the race as well as quali, but AMR really do need to get the best result they can here. So let's see what Tiago can do. Currently P6. He needs 4/10 of a second to take Snacks off the top spot. So let's see what he can do as Tiago starts his final run here in qualifying. So it's the run down to turn 1 for Tiago. Let's see how he handles this first chicane. Looking very nice through there. Weasel picking up a 5-place grid penalty for illegal blocking. Now that may not stand, and we may see a lobby reset at the end of this, but we'll see. Weasel currently in at P11. Tiago improving through sector 1 there. Needs improvements each sector here by a good 10th and a half through each sector if he wants that top spot. I mean, that'd see him in the 16s if he did a 10th and a half each sector. But let's see what sector 2's saying. He's up by just over a 10th of a second. How does he handle Ascari? Cleanly through. Nice exit from Ascari. Now it's just the Parabolica to go for Tiago. Has he got the improvements? Through sector 3, here he comes through the Parabolica, power down to the finishing line, and it's a 117.227. That's Tiago, P2. Sem moves down to P3. Where's Snacks? Where is he? Snacks currently going through Ascari. Voller's gone across the line. It's P8 for Voller. But Snacks, the man of the hour. He's been the man of qualifying. Can he secure this P1 for the race? He is round the parabolica. It's power down. Snacks to the line. It's a 117.115. Snacks doesn't improve, but holds on to P1. And Nico, unfortunately, invalidates on the lap. So he will remain P5. But AMR pulled the socks up there in qualifying. P2 and 3. They need this, but they both need to get past Snacks into turn 1 and control this race from the front. But it Snacks up on top with a 117.060. Couldn't quite find the time there on that final lap. But nevertheless, his second run was good enough for that top spot. But AMR went for it massively. Another great result for AMR here in qualifying. Picking up a really good result. P2 and 3. So, and I think the result that they would have right now would see it go into the final race if the race was to finish like this. But that might not be the case. But there you have it. Snacks in at P1. Otso P2. Tiago P3. Sem in at 4. Nikos 5. Cole in at 6. Thomas in at 7. We've got Eric in at P8. Better result than last week. Voller moved down to P9. Wow. Caden P10. Weasel P11. Mulder in at P12. Mert 13. Just Gold in at 14. Bella 15. Ward in at 16. AGK Racing 17. And the rest of the teams obviously have their quali bands. So BRC and RSC starting from the back. I think we may see a lobby reset here due to the 5-place grid penalty. We will know very, very shortly. Come on, Cole and Caden. My Pookies. How we doing? I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm just going to say Varuxi, if that's pronounced correctly. Varuxi, nice to see you in the chat. And let's hope that Cole and Caden can have a good race here this evening. As we know, Caden recently moving over to wheels, so we know he'll be putting his best effort forward, regardless of the trials and tribulations that he goes through in this race. And I think we do have a lobby reset here. So we might have a bit of carnage into turn 1. We've got RSC Pim in the chat. Go Sem and AGK. Sem having a really good qualifying here. And yeah, everybody probably getting a little bit of frustration out here. As we see teams just pulling over in the background. FRT driver. Absolutely screwed. Everybody's piling up in turn 1. Ooh, big pile up, big hits. Snacks is like, Marvin, none of that. None of that. So we have to watch all this now, unfortunately, because we are only spectator. But yeah, a lobby reset here due to a 5-place grid penalty that Weasel received. So we will be back to the action very, very shortly. But Sem wins. Caden up into P4. Go on, Caden. I'm sure that's the result he'll want at the end of this race. But let's have a quick look at all the merch that Apex Apparel has to offer while we watch this one. So there is my commentator hoodie. Loving it. I mean, if you do want to purchase this, I know Julie was on about it last week in the chat. This is not actually in the store as of yet. But, I mean, I'm not saying you're all my fans and all this. But, you know, he can work with you as well, the lad who runs the company. If you want to design your own hoodie, then make sure you hit him up. But there's my hoodie. And here is the advert. Yeah, so I didn't know that music was playing on this. I did put it on, but I couldn't hear it. But apparently you can. So, but yeah, hoodies, phone cases, a lot more coming to the website. iPhone cases, Samsung cases, very good quality. Really do protect your phone as well. So if you drop it and stuff like that, but there will be a lot more heading to the site. But these are just the opening stuff that's in the store, ready for purchase. If you do head over to Apex Apparel and use code COMS at the checkout, you will receive a 10% discount on your order. But let's go back. I'll be back shortly, people. I'm just going to get a quick drink. Sorry about that little break there, people. But yeah, really good qualifying that. Always very, very close at the top. We had like laps that were invalidated that could have seen people a bit further up. Caden, one of them. I mean, Tico as well with his lap time could have been right in there, but they're in a good place anyway, AMR. But he did invalidate a 0.079, so that would have been enough for P2, but I think he's in P2 anyway. But amazing to see it. 22 people in chat. How we all doing, people? All turning up to watch this penultimate race of the season, where SCI could seal the deal here this evening, and they're in the driving seat pretty much. We know Voller has got great race pace. We know he can make up positions, but is he just that little bit too far back here this evening to try and help the team prevent this going into the final race of the season? But AMR have put themselves in a tremendous position to achieve that here this evening, to take this race to the final race, to take it to there and to take the battle. And if it does, that final race of the season is going to be legendary. But AMR in a great spot here with just Snacks in front of them. And if they can both get past Snacks, or at least one of them into turn one, then they can try and work together to try and get past, get rid of Snacks and have, you know, the lead of the race. Which I think these, like the run down to turn one, as you get so far down, as long as they say 2 abreast going into turn one, which is not really what you want to do, but if they can do and still, you know, hold on to that lead, they can. They really can do it, but it's all about timing. But these are the kind of performances we've seen from Snacks. You know, every time he's driven, so can Snacks hold on to the lead of the race with 2 great drivers in behind him who drive for AMR. It all comes down to this, people, as we move into the race. It could all be over here this evening. It's down to AMR to take it to the final race of the season and pull off a great drive here this evening. They're going to be hoping the SCI make the mistakes and lose positions. I mean, if anything, I think they want them out of the point scoring positions. And it looks like we have very overcast weather here for the race. Grumpy, if you could, are we going to see rain at any point, or is it just going to stay like this throughout the race? Grumpy will probably know better than me. But this is tense, people. We've also got, like, don't forget the other positions. We've got FRT and AERT battling it out. FRT handing the torch to AERT, really, in this race this evening. With not a great qualifying session from the FRT team. Cole and Caden both in the top 10, if I remember correctly. I think Caden might be P11, but he looked very comfortable, very at ease on wheels. So, Caden, I mean, best of luck to your brother in this race. Especially with such a short period of being on wheel. And I tell you what, the lot of times you were putting in, kid, amazing. Amazing. Keep pushing, Caden. You're doing absolutely brilliantly. But other teams need big results if they want to try and make moves in these final two races in the championship. As we get Leon with the follow, VNT Leon with the follow. Thank you very much, sir. Welcome in to round 13. VNT have had a pretty up and down season, if I'm honest. And they have had their moments as well. But they're going to be another team hoping for a big result here this evening. So that final race, maybe the points become a little bit easier to get to try and nick a position in the championship or two. Depends on how these two races unfold and how well the other teams do. But we are just waiting for the green light here. We used to get beeps that would tell you as a commentator like when it was getting underway. Now it's just like you're on the grid. And I hope that's something they fix for 26. Still no release date for the DLC. So, like, Grumpy's got some stuff in the pipeline to keep me busy, hopefully. But here we go. And I think Wards is going to be right at the back. But here we go. It's 5 red lights for round 13. And it's Monza. And we are underway. And it looks like Snacks gets a good start off the line there. AMR already trying to defend. They are defending their P1 and 2. OMB, Nico trying to go down the inside. But Tiago will have the better exit, being on the outside there. So AMR hold on to P1 and 2. Voller's picked up a couple of positions there. Now P8. He's side by side with Eric as they move down to the turns 3 and 4. The chicane. And that's Voller losing position. Voller drops out the point scoring positions. It's getting a little bit argy-bargy at the back there. Now, Voller squaring up against the other AMS driver now. And Voller has everything to do here now. He has got to get back in that point scoring position. Not a great start for it. Well, he had a great start, but then it unfolded into that second chicane. Oh, as we see Sem getting a little bit out of shape there on the exit of turn 10. As they all make their way down to the Parabolica. Looks like a clean lap for everybody. There may have been positions lost. But FRT down in P17 and 19. They really are saying to AERT, here, take P3. We'll see you on the final day. As we see Tiago trying to defend from Sem. Sem showing some great pace here. Trying to get in between the AMR boys. But Snacks looking comfortable out front so far. And Otso hot on his tail. But Thiago is feeling the pressure. He's got Sem and Nico racing hard behind him. Sem and Nico 2 abreast into the chicane. This is great racing by the pair. But it's Nico that comes out on top. Sem deciding to take a lap off and just settle into P5. Maybe he can go for it again. But, lap 2. We don't usually see these kinds of moves. But it's all unfolding here at Monza. And I tell you what, the pack is staying close together. They're all in DRS range. Apart from Wards, who is now a second back. I think he may still be AI. I haven't seen him come back into the lobby. Are we going to see the gaps start to unfold as we see Cole there having a little look at VNT Thomas? Caden P9. Come on, Caden. Oi, oi. Snacks with the fastest lap of 121.378. As we move into lap 3. Nobody having a little look down the pit straight. Start finish straight, sorry. But yeah, definitely I've done 100% race round here, comms. Oh my god. That was a hard commentating session, I'll tell you that. As Cole feeling the pressure. Mulder trying to have a little look on Caden there. Just trying to unsettle him into that chicane. But once again, Caden showing his composure. He had the same in qualifying. It didn't phase him. And it hasn't phased him again. Mulder trying to go for the move. But this is not a position we're usually used to seeing this man in. P11 for Voller. And he is very much stuck in that DRS train now. And he's got to show some really strong pace here to get back in a good point scoring position. Because AMR definitely are taking this to the final race of the season if it stays like this. But as you can see, majority of the grid on mediums. Whoa. And now AMR moving into the top spot. Also with the aid of the DRS. Moving into the lead of the race now. And Thiago really needs to start putting the pressure on Snacks. He needs to close that gap. And really start putting the pressure on him. Try and not force a mistake, but try and make him feel uneasy. But yeah, majority of the grid on mediums. Just 4 drivers on the hard compounder tyres, and that is AGK Racing, Dawid, Bella, and Wards, all on the hard compounder tyres. Whereas the rest of the grid opting for the mediums here at Monza. So, are we going to see Snacks retake the lead of this race with the aid of the DRS? Going down that main straight. We'll stay on board with Snacks as they round the Parabolica. And I tell you what, Thiago is under heavy pressure from Nico here. Nico putting a strong drive on here for OMB. Really is trying to put the AMR driver under heavy pressure here. But it works out in Nico's favour because he's trying to force Thiago to try and make the move on Snacks to maintain the position. So the more pressure he puts on Thiago, it then adds that pressure to Snacks, which then adds that pressure to Otso because everybody's stacking up. But yet to see a split in the pack, apart from Wards, who probably is AI. But all 18 drivers, all within DRS range of one another. Got BB Flash, the Flash down in P16, just trying to hold on to some DRS there. He's dropping out of range. I think he's not having the greatest of lap here, the driver. Stay on board with him for a couple of corners, just see how he's dealing with the circuit. Nice second Lesmore there. But there we see the Flash just trying to get some cool air across the car there, pulling out of the slipstream. And now they make their way down to the Parabolica, where we've still got Otso leading with Snacks P2 and Tiago in at P3, and Nico still right on the rear diffuser. And there we go to see Snacks making his way past Otso there to take back the lead of the race. 2 podium positions. I don't think they quite care if it's P2 and 3 they get, but they are going to be wanting to obviously secure a P1 and 2 here for this race. So let's hope they can do to really take the fight to the final race of the season. As we get AE Washington with the follow, massively appreciated. Welcome in to round 13 here at AERS, where we have SCI looking to try and take the championship here this evening, but the race hasn't started well for them. Voller is picking up positions, now in at P10. But he needs more points, does Voller. He needs at least a top 5. Or a podium, if anything, to really, really flip this race on its head. He needs to be gaining more and more positions, but he's done well so far. Back up to P10. And are we going to see him try and make any more moves? Sem just getting the DRS there. As Nico looking to close up again. Sem out of DRS range now. He's closing it once again though, but these front row drivers really are pushing and really are fighting for every point they can. But 7 laps in, 20 to go. And I'm sure the pit stop phase will be starting in a few laps time. And we're going to see one of the AMR drivers is going in early. A lap early, I'm telling you. They have to. That's the strategy that they need. They need one driver in to try and get the undercut. That's what AMR need. They need that P1 and 2. They need the race win here. If they really want to have a good old scrap at thingy. And to really take a big slash out of SCI's lead. I mean, they've got 60-point lead at the minute. I think Voller in the, maybe picking up a point. Snacks will pick up 25. So look at 26 points here. But Otso and Tiago are going to be picking up, a really healthy amount of points. So let's hope that gap is really minimal, because that final race will come down to whether SCI or AMR are in the point scoring positions in qualifying, because it's so hard in the race with how fast this grid is to make inroads. Obviously, we do see it from time to time. AMS Knight, we've seen it from him. We've seen it from Voller gaining positions. We've seen it from Sem, Snacks. We've seen it from a couple of drivers this season. Have a little move down as we see Mulder dropping out of DRS range now to Voller. And the pack is starting to break. And the top 10 all in DRS range, with the bottom 8 all within DRS range. And the race has very much settled down now. I think everybody just accepting the positions. If they see a driver make a mistake in front of them, then they may try and launch an attack. But until that moment, I think they're all just settling in now. And we do have early pit stops, and it's Otso into the pits. This could trigger a chain reaction. We've also got Caden into the pits, and we've got Voller. Voller also jumping into the pits. We've got side-by-side action. OMB, Nico and Sem. This battle has been brewing. But Nico probably wanted to have a battle with Tiago rather than Sem. And it sees Sem now take the position away from Nico. And Nico dropping another position here as VNT Thomas gets the move done nicely through the chicane there. Absolutely brilliant move from Thomas. Right on the edge, right on the limit. And no contact made from him. that was the move of the race so far from Thomas. Absolutely brilliant overtake going into the chicane there. Sensed the opportunity, and he took it with both hands. And Nico, a bad lap, losing 2 positions on this lap. And it's not good to lose 1 position in this grid, let alone 2. So is this going to trigger Snacks into the pit lane? As we get AGK Racing with a 3-second time penalty. And Snacks reacting to... he's reacting to Otzo there into the pits. So is Thiago. Where is Otzo? Otzo down in P18. He's coming through the Parabolica. Is he going to get the lead of the race? He will be pushing that Ferrari to try and come out in front of Snacks. Has he done enough on this lap? Snacks is trundling. He's at the pit exit. And he's just not going to have the pace. Otzo is. Otzo's going to have the warmer tyres going into turn 1 as well. So Otzo taking the lead of this race. Snacks feeds it at P2. And Snacks will stay right there with him. He will have the fresher tyre, 1 lap fresher tyre difference come the end of this race. To Otzo. Will that make the difference? The Snacks, I tell you what, right on the rear diffuser of Otzo here. Good opening, like good first lap here from Snacks, especially with cold hard tyres. This is a really, really impressive outlap. And he's already putting Otzo under pressure here. And Otzo's let him have it. Otzo's let him have the lead of the race. That is a weird one. There's the rest of the grid. Well, a few more drivers in the pit lane. Voller with the fastest lap of the race. Voller really putting the laps together here. Voller has actually managed to technically get into P5. Voller with an amazing undercut. He actually gets Nico as well. See, this is why we enjoy watching Voller, because it's these kind of drives where he really does pull it out of the bag. And this really does put pressure now on AMR. It puts pressure on them to get the race win here. Take it away from Snacks. Because Voller is in a good point scoring position. Once these pit stops, all the pit stops are done. It should be called the fucking magician. Because that's a brilliant outlap that to get that many positions. Brilliant outlap from Voller. As we do get more cars into the pit lane. As we get Sem, NLD, and Mert Sim into the pit lane. So, and hang on, who's that Red Bull? Oh, it's Bella. So Bella out on all tyres here. And Thiago is going to want to get past as soon as possible here. Doesn't want to be held up by the FRT driver here. And was there a bit of contact there between Thiago and Bella? Voller. I mean, he's done one hell of an undercut, Oscar. I don't know whether you've been watching the whole way through, but... Oh, as we get an FRT driver, Bella's in the wall on the exit of the second Lesmo. And FRT really did need some points here. Embarrassing. Back it up. So Bella with a moment on the exit. As we get Kim G Dell in the chat, we got Luck in the chat, retire, saying look. Could definitely be a retirement. But this man has put on a great drive so far. 5 positions gained. He was P10 before the pit stops. P10. And technically now he's sat in P5 with the top 3 drivers having to pit still. The only drive these drivers started on the hard compound tyres. What's my longest stretch in jail? What makes you think I've been in prison? For that question, who's told you I've been in prison? I've never been in prison, mate. Do I sound like I've been in prison? Max Power told me. Well, Max Power's chatting shit. I don't even know Max Power. I've never even commentated on him. But fair play. Yeah, I've never been in jail. Right, back to the racing. That question was so out of left field. It was ridiculous. So, IRT Mulder with the fastest lap of the race. With a 120.343, taking it away from Voller. As we get BRT Justin. Yes, Justin, great race win last week. GG's, bro. Is that the right Justin? Grumpy said you had a 6 to 7 years prison stretch. So it's gone from Max Power to Grumpy now. Yeah, I've never been in prison, man. Never. So Snacks, after a weird pit stop, I don't quite know what happened with Otso, but Otso just seemed to be like, you know what? You lead. And just let him past. Tung 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 saho. No, I ain't got a clue, mate. Not a clue. Undin din din dun. Let's just stick to the racing. Rev Caterpillar, not a clue, bro. But you're a giggle. So we've got Bella out on the mediums. Oh, 36 seconds behind Mert. That's a lot of time to catch up on. Yeah, the top 10 have all kind of been... Well, it's the top 9 now. Have all been within DRS range. Eric has... Well, top 10, yeah, top 10 have all been in DRS range. We did see the split around lap 6 to 7. Oh, I think, no, maybe even lower, like 5, where the pack started splitting. And we see Mulder losing time in behind Voller. As we get Valerio with the watch streak. 3 watch streak. No. As we get Sem with a 3-second time penalty. That's definitely good. Nico has also got a 3 second. We've missed that. As we get Berber Patapin. Is that what you want me to say, Caterpillar? Because you keep putting it in. Berber Patapin. Patapin. But yeah, I mean, Nico gonna be fuming with that. He did lose a couple of positions, was fighting Thiago in the early laps, showed some really strong pace on the back of Thiago, was all over him. But did he just push the tyres too much in his attempt to try and gain a position from Thiago? He really was pushing. What's Who are you asking? Eowyn 07. What's my favourite fucking random boxer? I don't fucking know. I just bought some fucking ones off TikTok, mate. Like, don't really have a favourite, but as long as they're comfy and they hold everything in the right place. I like the on the arse ones. They're pretty decent. Like alt patterns and shit on them. I've had them. They're comfy. Yeah, they are really comfy. They win that ball so much. Love a pair of Kelvin Classics. You can't beat the old Kelvin Classics. Think every fucker's had a pair of them. But yeah, Nico down in P8 now. And we've only got Wards and Dawid to pit. And look at this, Snacks is right on the rear diffuser on. They're going to be a full pit stop distance behind these lot once they do decide to pit. But they're going to be on mediums. And can they make them work? Can they make moves through the pack with them fresh mediums? The pit stops, they probably be in this lap. And then we'll be back to Snacks leading this one. With Otso and Tiago hot on his tail. VNT Thomas in at P4. And Voller, the surprise, if anything, Caden Puncher. Not already. Surely. What's my favourite wonder of the world? It's got to be the pyramids, mate. I'm all about Egypt and like they're like the way they're aligned and everything like that. So yeah, I would say the pyramids of Egypt. What about yours? What's your favourite? The aliens built them. Go on, not Rishi. I was waiting. That was clickbait. That I knew that was going to be. What's 134 divided by 2? Shit. 60. No, 70. No. Oh fuck! It's too early for math. 60 something. 67. The North Tower. Fair play, fair play. We took me a while. Took me a while. That got destroyed. But yeah, we all know the aliens built the pyramids. But yeah, I love my Egyptian history and stuff like that, the gods and stuff like that. I'm definitely into the thing. What drugs have you took before this stream? None. But Bella, it's just unfolding for Bella. 3-second penalty. I'm sure that's 6. What's my opinion on the 90s? Is that the 99s or the 90s? Is that meant to be the 90s? Because if it is the 90s, I grew up in the 90s. It was about going outside and playing with your friends rather than sitting in a fucking house constantly on your phone. Oh, 99s. 99s. You can't beat a 99. When they were actually 99p. What are they now like? Something like fucking £1.50. It's not a 99 anymore. With a flake. Oh, yes. What sauce are you having on top? Strawberry, chocolate, bubble gum. Are you having a bit of sprinkles? But yeah, lap 19 here. And we've still got Snacks leading the way with Otso and Tiago trying to chase him down. VNT Thomas P4. Voller in a very good P5. Nico P6. Cole in at 7. And I tell you what, Caden's having a cracking race here. To say he's been on wheel for not too long. I do not support euthanizing. I do not support. I think David can do the thinkable here. Dawid. I mean, 2 laps in, they've got 4 seconds to find. I just don't think it's on. I don't think they're going to do anything with that. Big ask, but we'll check back in with him soon, see if he's making any more moves, but it's a tall ask for him to even try and get near the top 10, even with mediums that are a lot fresher than the hard runners here. Not got any right good tussles at the minute. We just got... Let's have a look at this between Dawid and AGK Racing. He is right on the rear diffuser of him. What's my thoughts on Kazakhstan? Never been. Don't know. Don't really have a thought on it. It's not in my peripheral. It's not in my like circle or world. So it means don't mean that much to me. I've heard it's a beautiful country. Well, parts of it. But yeah, AJK Racing just stuck in behind Dawid. He's probably using Dawid more than anything to try and get pulled a bit closer up into a bit more of a scrap. With BB the Flash just 7 tenths away from his teammate. But yeah, it's been it dies down. We won't see kind of any scrapping really going on until the final few races. Regardless, it's been a good race. It's just that odd moment from Otzo. Now Otzo, I think, probably trying to save tyres as we see the move here from Sem trying to get past Cole. Cole trying to defend. Sem down the inside. He's got the inside line. Cole has to relinquish the position. He's trying to fight it back though. But Cole gets past there. Sem does have that 3-second time penalty as well as Nico. So Cole will regain them positions unless these time penalties are fought in the stewards. But Cole knows that he's just got to stay calm, cool, collected here. There's 2 positions that he could have. Pierre Gasly. Alright, hang on. Yeah. What's your favourite formation of Cloud? It has to be a duck. Has to be. What do you think about Pierre Gasly moving to Aston Martin next season? I think that... See, Pierre Gasly's one of them. He has good races and bad races. Do I think it's a good move for him? No. Aston Martin having a lot of troubles with the car, so why would you move to a car that they know they're having troubles? Yes, they might look it in this season, but next season, but this season they're not going to be anywhere. So I think it could be a career-ending move for him if Aston Martin don't pull the socks up next season. As we get Josh higher. Oh, really? Yes, Josh. But Sem dropping off the back of the top 6. It's just a fight between him and Cole. But Cole needs to stay hot on the back of Sem. He doesn't want to let Nico get too far away, so that time penalty basically doesn't count. He needs to stay within that 3-second window. Do you think the rumour of Hamilton having a chimpanzee Benini is true? That is something that I haven't heard. I won't lie. You'll have to send me a thingy of that to have a look at that. Do you mean a chimpanzee panini? As we move, we're on lap 24 here. And we've got 44 people watching the stream. How are we all doing? If the Miami GP gets cancelled, I'll be so annoyed. Same here, mate. I'm looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to it. We've got AERT Josh with a 3 streak watch streak. So thank you very much, Josh. We've got a retirement. It's AGK Racing. And the RSC boys losing points there. Yeah, shout out to Eon's barber and his stylist. I nearly actually read them then. You nearly had me, Eon. As we get Gabor with the follow. Thank you very much, sir, for the follow. Nearly had me. Nearly had me. Too bad considering all it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, so he's only been on it a week. I mean, to be racing on a wheel in a championship like this, of how close it is. GG's, Caden. GG's. But 2 weeks. All right, 2 weeks. But still massive GG's. We get Max Power into the pit lane with the 10-second side penalty, and it is a DNF. FRT have basically handed AERT P3 here. I think they'll still need a few more points with AERT in that final race, but they'll be in the driving seat with that P3. As we've just got 3 more laps of racing to go here at Monza. I can't believe you nearly had me, Eon, in. You nearly had me. Merging with Verstappen sim race. I mean, if they are merging with Verstappen sim racing, GG's to FRT. Massive GG's to them. Big up. Do they need a commentator? I'm only joking. I'm only joking. But no, yeah, we're in the penultimate lap now. Snacks has had a brilliant one. What are all these rumours and stuff like that, like, flying in? Is doing good. Yeah. You are trying. I'll give you that. I'll give you that, Ian. I'll give you that. So, penultimate lap now. Are we going to see the AMR boys try and launch any sort of attack going into turn 1? It looks like Otso setting up to get very close to the back of Snacks here. What's my thoughts on it then? Go for it. All's well that ends well. That's what I'll say, Rev. So, here we go. Moving into the final lap of the race. Here we go. Is also going to try and launch any sort of attack. He doesn't. He pulls out of it. We've still got one more DRS zone to go as we get Mulder out of the race. He's DNF'd in the pit lane. Why would you just finish the last lap? Unless he's had some sort of puncher or something. I really don't know. Thiago has lost a position to Thomas. Thomas has got past him, putting Thiago under pressure. Were they locking horns into turn 1? Because they've lost a lot of time to P1 and 2 here. But let's see if Otso can get the move done. He's got 2 straights to try and get past, and then Ascari, you're not really going to launch an attack there. But he does have the Parabolica as well. So let's stay on board with these two. Who wins? Is it AMR or SCI? Here we go. And you know what? I think SCI may have won the championship here. With how close this is, I think they may have done it. But it's going to be Snacks round the final corner. What a race it's been from him. It's always brilliant from SCI. And Snacks wins Monza with Otso getting P2. Thomas P3. Tiago P4. I think they needed P3. Voller gets an amazing P5. GG's to Voller. What a comeback from where he was. P12 we seen him at one point. And for him to walk away with P5, let's go. But I don't want to jump the gun. I really don't. But I think SCI may be your champions. I don't know whether Grumpy's trying to do the maths in the background. But I think they may have not done it. I think AMR tried for it. I think the Tiago losing that position on that final lap, I think, threw it away from him. But I don't know if anybody can add up the points there. But brilliant race once again here with AERS. All the teams trying to go for it. But have SCI done enough? Are you there, Grumpy? Are you doing the numbers? And Eon, I can tell you were a prankster, mate. Good effort, though. Good effort. Good effort, bro. But yeah, another great result. SCI Snacks once again on the podium, taking that top step. I'm sure every time we've been on board with him, he has taken the top step in the race. But absolutely brilliant drive from SCI once again here this evening. AMR tried taking the fight. I don't quite think it's enough for AMR to take it into the final race of the season. But nonetheless, it was a great battle from him. OMB, Nico, great attack. Well, not Nico, it was VNT Thomas, sorry, with a great attack on Tiago in that final lap to take away P3 and to secure a podium for himself. Great drive. But yeah, I mean, what can you expect? We've seen it all season long. Great racing. No safety car here this evening, which was a good one from the drivers. Bella nearly caused one, but managed to get back on track. Just lost their front wing, had to get back into the pits. But yeah, I think I'm not 100% whether it'll go into the final race of the season. I do feel like SCI have secured it here, but we'll leave that to a surprise for next week. But if you're in the chat of the league, I'm sure you'll probably know in a few minutes' time. But as always, thank you so much to each and every one of you for joining here this evening for AERS Round 13 with me, the commentator. It's been an absolute pleasure as always. And please, if you've been watching all season long, make sure you're here for the finale. If the championship has been won this evening, then it's been won. But there's still places to battle for. So make sure you join us next week. Same time, same place for the final round here with AERS. Until then, people, have an absolutely amazing week, a greater weekend, and we'll see you next week for the final edition of the season. Who wins it? Make sure you join us then. Take care. Good night. Love, peace, and everything, and all that good stuff to each and every one of you.